Hey guys, welcome to your own channel, Fantasy Cricket Hub. What I will be trying to pass on my knowledge to you all guys. I will be giving preview about the second T20 match which is going to be played between Australia and Sri Lanka tomorrow. So I will be giving some details about players. I hope you will listen it carefully, and I hope I would be able to pass on good amount of knowledge to you all guys. It's not knowledge is not like that. This knowledge will be coming useful to you for this match only. It will be coming till the players which I will describe and give details. Till the time the player will play cricket, till that time this knowledge will be coming useful to you. Normally, what happens these days? Everybody is making videos for Hindi users. They are trying to catch those users. Nobody is thinking about the English users. But since I want my knowledge, whatever knowledge I have, to be shared between among everyone. My mom and dad have made me that educated that I would like to pass on knowledge to every users, not just Hindi users, for English users as well. So I will be making this video in English for English users. I will give it a try. I hope I succeed in it. I hope you will listen it, and whatever feedback you will give me, it's most welcome. So you can give your most honest feedback by commenting on this YouTube channel. Okay, this channel is yours only, it belongs to you only. So I'll be giving it a best try. Let's try it and let's see how it goes. Okay, so we are going to directly, I will give you the preview and prediction about the second T20 match which is going to be played between Australia and Sri Lanka tomorrow. This match is going to be played. This match is going to be played at Sydney Cricket Ground, Sydney, and this match is going to be played at 13:40 IST time. That will be 1:40 PM according to Indian Standard Time. This match is going to be played at the Sydney Cricket Ground. I would like to tell about the pitch report. Pitch report. I would like to tell you about the pitch report. What the pitch will be helpful to fast bowler, spin bowler. Pitch will be assisting to both fast bowlers and spin bowlers. Batsmen, in order to make some good runs, would need to spend some time on the wicket, need to get set and then score big, need to be watchful and bat with full concentration in order to score big. So this will be the criteria on batting on this pitch. And from the first T20 which you have seen, Australia played between Australia and Sri Lanka, you would have noticed one thing, that the pitch assisted both fast bowlers and spinners as well. Okay, what you seen in that match was Hazelwood picking 4 wickets, and then Chamira and Binu Fernando were also quite useful with their overs. And normally you also would have seen that Hasaranga being very successful, picking 3 wickets, and Zampa also picking wickets, quite a few wickets. So what you make out of that pitch is that it assists both fast and spin bowlers. They are quite useful. The pitch is useful to both. A person bowling good line of length will be successful on this pitch. And generally, what is the trend at the Sydney wicket is that it is generally a slow wicket. Okay, it is not like a full pace pacers wicket. Here you will be seeing lots of spinners being successful, and generally it has been the trend over the quite a few years that spinners being lots successful on this pitch. So you can expect the same in tomorrow's match as well. Spinner playing a huge role on this pitch. Okay, so this will be one of the thing you should be careful about it, and you should keep in your mind while making your teams, that spinner being quite successful on this pitch. Okay, what will be the probable 11 of Australia? I would like to tell you about Ben McDermott will be opening with Aaron Finch. Then after about one down will come Josh English, then Maxwell, then Smith. If lots of wicket fall, then Smith can be promoted. Otherwise, Maxwell will be promoted. Then Marcus Stonis will come. After that, Matthew Wade will come. Then Pat Cummins. Then Mitchell Stark, Adam Zampa, Josh Hazelwood. What will be the Sri Lankan probable 11? I would like to discuss it with you. Nisanga will be opening with Dhanush Gondaliga. Then Avishka Fernando will come at one down. Then CS Lanka will come. After that, Vanudu Hasaranga will come. Then Dhanush Shanaka can be promoted above Hasaranga. It depends on situation. what they are facing. Then after that Chandimal will be coming, then C Karuratne, then this one Chamira, then Binu Fernando and M Thikshana. So this will be the probable 11 of Sri Lanka and Australia. I hope you would have noticed it. Let's directly now go to the Dream 11 and see what are the qualities of the players. I would like to discuss this with you guys. So I am directly going into Dream 11. So I will be discussing here about the players, what kind of impact the player will have, what kind of weakness those players lie when they face fast bowlers, spin bowlers, whatever may be the situation. A person playing good cricket in pressure situation, a player faltering in the pressure situation. So I will be giving you each and every details about the players. So have a look at it. Hope I will be able to pass on good amount of knowledge to all guys. So the first player which is in the wicket keeping section is Dinesh Chandimal. This guy is batting very lower down the order. Now the problem with Sri Lankan cricket is that they are not able to figure out what is the best position for a player. Okay, if Dinesh Chandimal is batting at 7 and 8, then you can assume it how bigger mistake it is. Okay, because he needs to be batted up the order, and like you would have seen Sri Lanka Premier League, he was quite in a good form, but now since he is coming very late, so he is not able to get that amount of time. Otherwise, if he would have gotten some crease time, then he would have been quite useful. So he will be batting very lower down the order. So you can't expect that many runs from Dinesh Chandimal. Same goes with Matthew Wade as well. For Hobart Hurricanes in the Big Bash, he used to open or sometimes come one down. But in the Australian ODI setup, in the Australian team, he is batting well lower down the order. So his batting chances also will be very less. So he will also get very less amount of game time. Then the next player which is in the batting section, which is Josh English. This guy has been given chance now, but this guy has been performing quite well. Not in this Big Bash he was able to perform just like he used to perform earlier, but the previous season Josh English was in good batting form. Okay, based on that consistency, he has been picked in the Australian side. So that is one of the things, he has been given the opportunity this season in the Australian team setup. Okay, so now we will be moving on to the batting section, and I will be giving you knowledge about the players, details about players, what kind of technique he has, and where are his weakness that lies and where are his strength that lies. Okay, so the first player from the batting section is Aaron Finch. Generally, what is with Aaron Finch is that he has two kind of weaknesses. First one, a person bowling good line or length, he is generally trapped around his pads by that bowler. Okay, so he is a victim of LBW most of the time. Okay, this knowledge won't be shared by anyone, but I am telling you about his two weaknesses. Okay, he is generally trapped on the pads by a good bowler bowling good line or length. Okay, and the second one, even if he gets set, he doesn't play spin that well. Okay, especially the leg spinners. Okay, he has a weakness against leg spinners. So even if he gets set, he will most probably get out to a leg spinner. Okay, so keep that in mind while selecting Aaron Finch. Okay, there are two criteria that either he can get early out LBW, and even if he gets set, he can get out by a spinner, leg spinner. Okay, the second player which is in the batting list is Steve Smith. He has been low in confidence these days. He is not that high in confidence these days. So many people are ignoring him, but a person has a class and has a good technique. Okay, just in one of days if he gets to bat early, then he can make big. Okay, so if you are willing to try something different in the Grand League, then you can try him as captain and vice captain. Okay, by dropping the top order, you can try making Smith captain as vice captain. It will be something thinking like an out of box kind of thing. So you can make him. Then the third player which is from the batting section is Avishka Fernando. Generally he was an opener, but Sri Lanka has been playing with him making him bat down the order, fourth, which is generally not his slot. Okay, now in the last match they promoted him at the one down. Okay, that was good, not that bad, but if he is batting fourth down, I mean coming on the fourth position, then that's not good for him. So they need to figure out what is the best position for all the players. Okay. And then we move downwards. Then the next player from the batting section is C. Aslanka. This guy is an off spinner as well, so he can bowl few overs. And personally, I have a belief that if the Sri Lankan cricket has to move forward, then this guy is very useful for their cause. Okay, he can just change the Sri Lankan situation anytime. Okay, he can take Sri Lankan cricket very high. Okay, he has that kind of talent, that potential. You would have noticed that thing in the last T20 World Cup, what kind of impact he had on his team. Okay, so he is a very useful player in the Sri Lankan setup right now. Okay, very important player. Then the next player from the batting section is Dhanush Gondaliga. Okay, normally there was a time when this guy Dhanush Gondaliga was very consistent and generally used to score big, quite big. But since he was banned from playing cricket for 1 year for whatever they did in England when they went over there, they break the COVID rule, and after that he got banned. Okay, so after that he played very less cricket, and when he have returned to cricket, he is not that impactful. Maybe he is low on confidence, but he is a good player. If you want to try something different in a Grand League, then you can make him captain as well, but depends, it has to be his day, then he will come quite useful. So that will be thing, but he is a good player. You can take him as a player. It can be proved to be quite useful in your fantasy teams. Now we are going downwards, and the next player for him, which is from the batting section, is Stonis. The thing with Stonis is that these days he has started bowling also, so he becomes quite useful. Okay, he can be promoted up the order anytime. Okay, for his brutal hitting, which he generally does, and he will bowl good amount of overs, some 3-4 overs. He can bowl any kind of overs. So this makes him a very utility player in your fantasy team. So I will recommend you to pick him for in your fantasy team. He can provide you value with anything, like batting as well and bowling as well. And one thing I would like to tell about Steve Smith as well. He fields at a position like long on, log off. So there are chances that he might pick 2 or 3 catches. Okay, so 2 or 3 catches means he will be directly getting 16 to 24 points directly. So that's one of the advantages of Steve Smith. You should keep in your mind. Okay, so the next player from the batting section is McDermott. Now this guy has been in the form of his life. Okay, giving performances after performances. You would have seen in the Big Bash as well. He generally scores, and he scores big. So he will be one of the prime candidate for the captain and vice captain in today's match as well. Generally he always gets good start. Maybe at few times he might fall cheaply, but most of the time he will score big. So he will be a good candidate for the captain and vice captain. So the next player who is in the batting list is Nisanga. This is an upcoming talent coming from the Sri Lankan cricket, and he is very new to the cricket circuit. But generally now what's happening, he is gaining confidence day by day. I just had a thing that whether he will be able to cope up with Josh Hazelwood type of bowling, but yes, he faced him quite well and scored quite good runs in the last match. So he is generally now improving day by day. So you can expect this player to perform in future as well, and he will also be a big player for Sri Lankan cricket in future. So they are heavily investing in this guy, giving lots of opportunities because they want him to perform, because they have seen his talent in him and they are backing him. So that's a quite good thing for Sri Lankan cricket, and you can take this player in your team. He can be quite consistent in your teams these days. Okay. Now let's move to the all-rounder section. The first player which is in the all-rounder section is Glenn Maxwell. This guy generally most of the fantasy players will make him captain and vice captain, and generally he bats quite well. Okay, but it depends on about his consistency. Where his actual problem lies is when he comes to bat, and if there is a spinner, generally there is a ego problem with him. He doesn't want the spinner to dominate, so he starts counter attacking. So when a player counter attacks, there is chance he might fall. Okay, when Hasranga will come into the attack, he will generally try to attack him. and in that case he can give his wicket as well, and but if his day is good, then he can score big as well. So the and one thing more about Maxwell I would like to tell you, there are quite left-handers in the Australian in the Sri Lankan team. So you can expect him to bowl quite of his off spinners when the lefty batsmen are on. So he can bowl also few overs. So that makes him very important pick in your fantasy teams. Then the next player which is in the all-rounder section is Vanudu Hasaranga. Normally people must be worshipping Rashid Khan, but according to me, my favorite player and favorite spinner is Vanudu Hasaranga. He generally creates something every time. Okay, whenever he comes into bowl, every ball he creates chances. So he is having that kind of impact, and you would also be seeing in most of the team he becomes captain and vice captain because his bowling is that good, plus he bats also up the order, and he is also a good batsman. And but the main thing is his bowling is very lethal and very consistent. So you can expect him to perform good, and he will be the main candidate to become captain and vice captain in today's match. Okay, so this guy is very important pick in your fantasy team. This guy will be the most important pick in your fantasy teams in today's match. Then Dhanush Gondaliga, this guy is these days playing a role of finishers and this guy is the captain of Sri Lankan team, and this guy can also bowl his medium pace bowling. So if he bowls 1 or 2 over and picks up one wicket, then also he becomes useful because batting will be coming to him, and if he scores some runs, then he will be quite useful in your teams. Dhanush Gondaliga. So for if a person is going to try something different in his Grand League team, he can pick Dhanush Gondaliga in his team. Then the next player which is in the all-rounder section is C. Karuratne. What this guy is capable of, he is a medium pacer and he bowls good line of length, and he will generally sometimes even bowl in the death also. And he, as I said, he bowls good line of length. So and he bats also well. So he will also be a very handy pick in your team. Like you would have seen in the last match, he gave up a lot of fantasy points and was very productive in the fantasy teams. Now let's move on to the bowling section. The first player from the bowling section is Josh Hazelwood. Now I would like to tell about this guy. This guy was treated as a test bowler early during his playing career, but now he has improved his T20 bowling. This guy doesn't do anything much. Okay, he doesn't try something different. This guy normally bowls a test cricket line, and a normal test cricket line with good line of length on a good length generally poses lots of problem to the batsman, and he does the same thing. Okay, but he has generated variations as well, like slower ball and all, that has made him very effective. And by the record you can see he was in the winning team when CSK won the IPL, and after that he might have seen that this bowler would have gone to Bangladesh as well, and he performed there as well good. Okay, because Bangladesh players are not used to facing this kind of bowling, this kind of good bowlers, so he was successful there as well. Then you would have seen in the T20 World Cup as well, the last one which Australia won, he was a part of that team as well, and he performed good in the final as well. So this guy is improving day by day. It came because of the setback. Not many would be knowing that this guy was dropped from the 2019 World Cup, 50 overs World Cup, and that he hit him hard. So from that day he started to develop himself as a short format bowler as well, because he wants to succeed in all formats. So that's why I am saying that Hazelwood has become a quite an improved bowler, and he bowls with good line of length, so he will be very useful. And like in the last match you would have seen that he was quite useful, and he picked 4 wickets, and 4 wickets, picking 4 wickets is not a small thing. So this guy will be a very important player in your fantasy team in today's match. Then the next player which is from is Dushman Chamira from the bowling lineup. This guy will generally bowl in the power play for Sri Lanka and will be bowling in death as well. So if Sri Lanka is bowling first, then this guy will be very useful, and he can give you handy points with the bat as well down the order. Then the next player which is from the bowling section is Adam Zampa. Adam Zampa, and generally people will be considering that Australia have won the last T20 World Cup, but I feel that it was because of Adam Zampa. He played like a gem. So, lots of credit should go to Adam Zampa, because he had made a match out of nothing by bowling, and he has bowled at the crucial time when the other teams were dominating, and because of that Australia was quite successful in the last World Cup T20 tournament. Okay. So, he is going to play a very good part, a big part in today's match as well, like you have seen in the last match as well. He has picked 2 or 3 wickets. So, he is a very good bowler. So, he should be in your fantasy teams in today's match. Then the next player is Mitchell Starc.